my name is Abigail Chu. I'm currently in Dr. Woong Hee Lee's group, and in this video, I will be giving a tutorial on how to use REDEN for 3D NMR in basic mode. I have opened my HCCONH spectrum in POKY. I'm gonna zoom in on this peak right here, because that's the peak I want to analyze. So to zoom in, I'm gonna click on this icon here to make my cursor into zoom mode, draw a box around it, maybe a little closer. Okay, perfect. Now, after making sure that this peak is not already picked, I can now use the two-letter code RE to open REDEN. It will open a window like this. 2D NMR and 3D NMR have essentially the same tools, but the only difference is that 3D NMR have an additional tool to navigate the third axis. You can press the down or up button to downfield or upfield your third axis. And just like 2D NMR, you can set the number of peaks you think are there. Otherwise, you can just follow the default value. This default value is one more than the local maxima can find. Which in other words means like following the equation n+1. And for more detailed description, you can hover over the words. And so I'm gonna stick with the default value here to see if there's a shouldering peak hidden. And since I'm ready, you can click on Fit. Unlike 2D NMR, 3D NMR may take some more time. It also takes a look at the possibility that this peak you have chosen might be connected to peaks not in view, which in other words means peaks in the third axis. And now I see I have a message here that says incorrect fit. You're trying to fit too many peaks to this cluster. Check each peak individually. Okay, click OK. Then let's check each peak individually. So how to do that? We can go look at plot each peak, where it shows the individual peaks. You can see that peak 1 is in blue and the supposed peak 2 is in green, and there isn't a second peak here. So meaning that REDEN cannot find a shouldering peak or a second peak to fit. So meaning this value is too high, so we can change this value from 2 to 1. And then I'm gonna click fit again. Okay, no message coming up, so it must be okay. And so now that REDEN is done, you have 5 options to view your results. Plot fit includes the initial figure that you first see. And for 3D plots, the main tool here is the configure subplot tool. Once you click on that, a window like this of sliders will open for you to adjust your subplot parameters. You can adjust left, bottom, right, top, width space, and height space. And if you want to go back to original, you can just click on reset. And that's it. And you can also save this figure by clicking on this icon. And this window will pop up. And you can save it to wherever in your computer you would like, or also in whatever file format you would like as well. Okay, so the next we have plot fit contour. This is the 2D version of the plot. The dot and the X are the max point of each original and fit cluster. You have these tools here to view the plot. The blue here is fit cluster and the black is the original. You can click on this icon, this magnifying glass icon, to change your cursor mode to draw a box. You can draw a box like this and you can zoom in and see. And you can also pan around by clicking on this icon to pan around. Then you can use these back and forth arrows to go back and forth between each views. Then this home icon allows you to reset to original view. You can also move up and down, upfield and downfield your third axis. So moving around to see. And another thing to add is that there is an R-square value here to tell you how well the fit is. The closer this value is to 1, the better the fit is. And plot each peak is a 3D plot of the new peaks. We have already talked about this earlier because when we tried to do fitting 2 peaks, but since there isn't a second peak, We did 1. Plot residuals is what you would have left if you were to subtract the fit from the original, and show parameters gives you the fit parameters of your peak. You have the amplitude value, the gamma coordinates in X, Y, and Z direction, the skew value, and the bias in X, Y, and Z direction. And once you're satisfied with your fit, you can import it back to POKY by clicking on this button right here. So now that it has been imported successfully, that is the end of this tutorial for REDEN for 3D NMR in basic mode. Thanks for watching.